Hey everyone, this is the Spoon Dude. So I was watching a bunch of episodes of The Spectacular Spider-Man for no particular reason. It got me looking back at my action figure of The Spectacular Spider-Man. This is one of the original Hasbro figures from that initial toy line that came out during the show's actual airing. Even on the bottom of the figure you can see it says 2008, so that's how old it is now. I had to make sure I had a figure representation of what I think is one of the best adaptations of the Spider-Man character. And it's it fills a spot in my collection decently well. The sculpt is really quite nice. It captures the animated likeness quite perfectly, in my opinion. What's really lacking is articulation. Not that he doesn't have like a decent amount, but you can't really get him into really dynamic Spider-Man poses. Hasbro did put out a more super articulated version, a superposable version with double jointed elbows and I think maybe like butterfly joints and stuff. But even that figure, from what I can tell, has its limitations and wouldn't quite pose as nicely as some of the more modern figures. But regardless, as I was just messing with this figure, I was looking at the head sculpt and I was thinking maybe I can just try doing a head swap on something. Maybe that might be kind of fun, even if it won't be the right body. So I took off the head, and of course the first thing I noticed trying to put it on any assorted Marvel Legends body is that the neck peg on this figure was just a lot more shallow. So this figure wouldn't really, the head wouldn't go down all the way. So what I ended up doing is I took my drill bit. This is the one I have, not a sponsor. I put in this bit to it that lined up with the size of the neck peg pretty decently well, and then just drilled into the head until I got it deep enough to fit on a Marvel Legends neck peg. I'm using this body for now, and like I said, this body isn't gonna match the animated proportions at all. The styling, everything, it's not gonna look right, but I just kind of wanted to see what a head swap might look like and if it would kind of satisfy me for the time being until I figure out a more proper custom with the right proportions and everything. But anyways, this is what it looks like on the first appearance, Spider-Man. I feel like this doesn't look that bad. This body in particular, he has the skinnier arms and the higher up shoulders, and I think that works. But the body I was mainly intending to try it out on was the animated series body here. And of course I have my problems with this body. For the animated series Spider-Man, it felt like this torso and the legs were too small, but weirdly that works out in the favor of this head, because while the Renew Your Vow arms are way too beefy and I feel like the slopey shoulders don't do him any favors, I feel like this kind of works also. Again, you kind of just have to set aside what it actually is supposed to look like, but just like on its own, this head, this kind of like more animated head on this body, I don't know, it's not bad. Like, I've actually been keeping this head on here for a bit and just posing it, and I find that like once you get it in a pose, it actually kind of looks pretty decent, and I would be very tempted to like leave it in a let's say like this deep crouch pose, and I'd be tempted to kind of leave that as how it's displayed, just to show real quick. Because like I said, this style body that Hasbro put out for the first appearance and has been reusing for this figure and some of the others, I think is one of the better bodies Hasbro has made. It's quite nicely articulated. You can do some good stuff with it, like here, getting him into the deep crouch. I feel like this doesn't look bad. I don't know, what do you guys think?